Today I want to talk about the book that I wrote. It's called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. And if this is the first time seeing me, well, I was married for 25 years. And unfortunately, my wife passed away from alcohol use disorder a little over 4.5 years ago, going on 5 years. One of the reasons why I wrote the book, and one of the things I haven't talked about, was really the last day when she passed away. And if I've made some videos on it, but it was, she was 100 miles away in UCLA from where I lived. And they called me up and said she had an hour left to live, and we had to rush down there. With one of our good friends, Amanda's good friend and mine, and I had to meet her sister, and two of her nieces came. We had to wait for everybody to get there, and by the time we got there, I was 2.5 hours away, and we got there, and she was still alive. But as soon as we got there, essentially, we had to turn the machines off. She was on kidney dialysis, breathing machines, feeding machines. She had had a dozen operations. It was a scene that I don't even really get into. There are no pictures of it because I don't want to be anybody remembering her in that way. And I remember, going through that. And you walk away and the day's over and she's passed away. And you just go, I don't want anybody else going through this. Where in this life was it preventable? And if her story can help other people, it needs to be told, because the opposite of alcoholism, the opposite of addiction, is communication and community and connection. And that's what the narrative of this book is about. It's about communicating a very difficult subject matter, the most difficult kind of subject matter, which is somebody dying that you loved in front of you because of drugs and alcohol. Now, the book will also answer a number of questions that I don't really go over on TikTok, like, what was her trauma when she was 16? I'll go over specifically. It was something that I think she took with her whole life. And when I first met her, she was still really emotionally very upset about it. It was a big part of her, how she had to deal with her family, her own personal family, her first family. And it was a big deal for her. And I think it actually gave fuel to her alcoholism and later her disorder of alcoholism. Unfortunately, she used to cry on my chest. And I met her 14, 15 years after this. And it was still a problem with her. I think it was one of her core issues. And I get into that in the book. Now, the book actually starts with the end, with the big rush to get to the hospital and all the stress it was at the end of her life. And then it's a flashback. We talk about the earlier days, when I first met her. And, we did have a wonderful life. We had far more wonderful years than they were bad years. I'd say 18 good years. The last 6 or 7, that was a crapshoot. It was very stressful, emotionally draining. And it's definitely not something I would want anybody else to have to go through. And again, the important thing is that it's a family disease. And it's so important to understand that everybody in the vicinity of the alcoholic in your family is going to be affected by the disease. There's no way they can't be. It's a progressive disease, and it's going to involve everyone. And if you don't understand it, and you have nothing but reactionary emotions to it, and you don't understand and put it in perspective that this person has a mental health disease, it can take you down. Lots of family members have post-traumatic stress syndrome just by dealing with the alcoholic in their family. And again, the book is actually on Amazon right now. It's Amanda, A Cautionary Tale, easy to find. It's one of the best ways to go. Now, if you do buy it, I really want to stress, leave a response on Amazon. It really helps the book sales. Leave a good response if you could. I think it's I don't know how you could have a bad one. There's nothing secretive about where you're getting with it. It's going to answer a lot of questions that I have on TikTok. My goal is to sell 1 million copies in the next couple of years. A lot of the proceeds are going to go to probably Hill Recovery in Temecula. Also, if you went to Michael's house in Palm Springs, and also percentage will probably go to my own organization, which will help people, and certainly in Southern California, who are homeless, because of drug or alcohol addiction. Because when you've gotten that far down, there's nobody there to help you. I mean, and your goose is cooked at that point. And these people need help. They're still people, and we need to help them. The book can also be found on my website, which is also in my link tree in my bio on this TikTok. Go to the link tree, go to the website, and the PayPal button is right there. That's a real easy way to do it just as well, too. Either way, pick the book up. It'll also be on Barnes & Noble. It'll be in an ebook format, I believe, in the next 2 weeks. This just came out last Thursday. So we're just getting it out. And I hope to have an audio book. First, we want to see how things go with the regular book and the ebook. And we hopefully have an audio book out next year, which I will be making because my voice is just fine for it. I'm a professional talker, so I think my voice will be fine for it. But that's the news, what's going on with the book. I appreciate everybody following me, and the book, great book for Christmas if you have an alcoholic in your family, if you want a good story, and it's a Shakespeare tragedy, or if you are a recovering alcoholic, it'll keep you in your lane. Whatever the relationship, if you have a husband, wife, mother, parents, to a child and child to a parent, or if you have a good friend. It's an important book, and I hope you enjoy it. And again, Merry Christmas.